Hello, and welcome to Procrastination Nightly News, where we do not throw things together at the last second because that's bad. And, yeah. I have with me today the beautiful Mrs. Jane Austen, the writer, the legend.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, tell me about your life, Miss Austen.
Well, I was born on December 16th, 1975, in Stevenson, Hampshire, England. Oh my, I remember those nights as a young girl, sitting on father's lap as he read poetry. Oh, it was simply splendid, to say the least. Both of my parents quite encouraged us to learn as much as we could, and read and write, and of course, perform.
Were you close with your siblings?
Oh yes, quite. There was James, Edward, Henry. Truth be told, Henry was my favorite. He always seemed to sort of have a connection with me. And he was so loyal. Later, he helped me publish Sense and Sensibility, which I'm sure you've read. Then, of course, there was my sister Cassandra. I do remember the fondest times with her, playing in the fields, frolicking, going to school. We were ever so close, and we used to write and sing together. She played the most wonderful piano. She helped me, as Peter did, well into my writing career. Though, of course, I wasn't terribly popular at the time. I am told I really only became the legend I am today during the 18th century. My novels weren't exactly the talk of the town, if you know what I mean. In fact, many people didn't agree with the reading of novels as a worthy activity. I was forced to defend my works against these ignorant individuals.
You wrote many books. Could you describe a few of your novels to me?
Oh, I have a bunch of them. I published works like Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility, as well as my lesser-known books like Love and Friendship, and many notebooks that were published in the Juvenilia. Although my works were not recognized during the times when I was alive, their popularity growth in the 1920s was amazing to watch.
You sure did write a lot. Maybe we could, read your books together, if you know what I mean. Sometime you're into that. So, the question we have all wanted to hear, how did you die?
Well, after becoming sick in 1816, I tried to work through it and keep publishing, but by July of 1817, I couldn't fight it any longer, and I died.
Sick? Sick with what?
Well, my death is actually a bit of a mystery. Most people have concluded that I probably died from tuberculosis, but there have also been theories of hormone imbalance and even arsenic poisoning. Imagine that, 41 years and already some powerful enemies. Then again, it's more likely that, if this is true, I was simply given a faulty medication by a doctor.
41 years?
Yes, I died quite young, but I must say, you don't really understand what old is these days. In my time, 41 was well into middle age. I do admit I might have liked to have a bit more time, but I had my share of adventures. I lived during the Regency period, which is a time of great power for the monarchy. I specifically remember one instance in which I was forced to dedicate my book to King George III, the Prince Regent at the time. I was clever, you see. I was determined not to be submissive to the servant king. So you know what I did? I wrote this piece of scandal. I remember it to this day. To His Royal Highness, the Prince Regent, this work is, by His Royal Highness's permission, most respectfully dedicated by His Royal Highness's dutiful and obedient humble servant, the author. It's ridiculous. It's over the top, just like the king himself. Of course, he never knew I was mocking that lazy, fat son of...
Miss Austen, you forget yourself. What more can you tell us about the society from which you drew your inspiration?
Well, first of all, we were part of the gentry, which was a rapidly expanding middle class consisting of lower-level workers and bourgeoisie.
We were relatively poor, but even for richer women, it's not exactly like that kind of privilege was reflected in the freedom that they personally experienced.
Women weren't permitted to have the same rights, as I'm sure you know, and could not choose from the wide range of careers that men were privy to. In all honesty, it's the most important achievement that a woman could be responsible for was a successful marriage and a reasonable dowry. My novels deal with this issue, especially in my gem, Pride and Prejudice. The main character, Elizabeth, the eldest daughter, has yet to be married, though it seems that her sisters, impetuous as they are, do not have a hard time finding a man.
Were you ever married? No, I was never married. I preferred to write about it in my novels and use the literary lens as a way to explore the role of marriage, status, social class, family relationships, and social convention, all falling under the same overarching theme of society. So you didn't even consider it? No, but now that you mention it, that fellow over there looks rather dashing.